Hi there everyone, welcome to part 7 of the Luthier's Lair series on the building of the GazzBass Falcon Bellissimo Series 2 Franco di Donato signature model. Yes, this episode will detail a bunch of roller coaster rides and ups and downs probably. I'll see how much I can cram in. I've got lots and lots and lots of footage to go through. We're going to do that, and then there's probably going to be a part 8 and maybe even a part 9. That's how detailed and jam-packed, full of bass goodness this series has been. So let's get on with it.
Alright you lot, what's going on here then?
Well, what's going on here? Like I said, we're going to sand the side. I started at 220, I've done this to 220. Now I'm going to go to 320 and just go up and down here. Make sure everything's absolutely flush and level. Now I have rounded the frets. You know, I can do that if I want, but I shouldn't, because look what happens. Leave scuff marks, right? Don't do that. Use a file or use Scotch-Brite or something to do that, to dull the edges. Those edges should be dull though if you've done the proper filing of the frets. So all we do is this. Now we angle in very slightly this way. That's an exaggeration, of course. Very slightly that way, because I don't want to spoil the flush, absolute nothingness ridge here that I've got. So I just do that. Work my way down. It's very quick actually. If you see some tear away in the sandpaper, that means that you didn't do your fret job right, and you go back and you have to smooth out the crap hole in the frets if it goes through the paper. I mean, that's not acceptable, because you're going to be playing, you're going to rip your hands apart if you play. So just down to 320 here. On we go. Step wheelie, on we go. Heel, 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 and toe for toe. Right, okay, that's pretty much down to 320. How can I tell? Well, I'll just run a cotton cloth across that. And look, I'm not getting any tear in the cloth. Everything's like smooth, so you can run your hand over that and you're not going to get cut. Look how the tangs are nicely into the slots there. It's looking very beautiful right now. I love that when you actually start sounding and reveal your work. You know, it's like, it's a big payoff. It really is. It makes it all worthwhile. It really does. There is some heartache involved, but you know, it's the same with everything. So I'm going to turn the neck round there, clamp it very loosely. There you go. Yes. There. Very loosely in the vise. And again, just smooth over. Angling ever so slightly that way. Not that way, that way. Right? This is all for comfort. It's all for show as well. When you're doing this and you go through progressively higher grits of sandpaper, the ends of the frets are going to polish up real nice. And it won't look good if the frets on the front of the neck don't match the shine. So I take these maybe to about 800. Probably 800, because I don't finish per se the fretboard. I put sealer on it and I put stain on it, and that's it. That's it. You oil it maybe once every year to keep it from drying out, to keep from what happens when I'll do a piece of the camera. Okay? Catch you in a minute. Yeah, so as I was saying in the previous segment, what was I saying? Oh yeah, frets. Sometimes if your bass or any guitar or any fretted instrument for that matter has been through temperature variations, especially in dry weather. The neck will dry out. Now, I was talking about oiling the neck once a year. Well, yes, you can use boiled linseed oil and various products like that, wax, certain brands of wax. I'll go over that later, but here's what happens. I've just done this neck, so it feels really nice. Anyway, yeah, what happens is if the fretboard dries out too much, what you'll get is a shrinkage in the fretboard. Even though it's glued onto this huge piece of maple here, what you'll get is dry out, and as a consequence the ends, usually, sometimes it's not, usually the ends of the frets will lift. Frets are very springy, so knocking that back down into place ain't going to work. It usually doesn't. And what you usually have to do is, you tape off. Say this was the fret that was lifting, right? I would tape off that, tape down to the tang of the fret. There's the tang right there. You see the tang. And then I would lift the fret even a wee bit more, drop a wee bit of CA glue down there, and I would clamp it and wait half an hour to be safe. Then I would take it out, clean it up, be fine again, CA is okay in all sort of humid type things, but never ever put vegetable oil on your neck, because the CA will come off and you'll get lift again. Vegetable oil is nature's answer to CA glue. I think most woodworkers know that. And yeah, so that's what happens. It can happen. It's happened to me a few times. My JD, here's another point. My JD Supernatural Classic, I'll put this down, has a bound neck. It's binded. It has binding on it. It looks very nice. Looks nice. Not functional or anything, really. As far as I can see, I have had, I've been making bases for a long time now, 20 odd years, and binding is there for being pretty. Okay? It has no functionality, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but anyway. If you get a lifted fret and your neck is bound, then it's very difficult. And then refretting a bound neck, a neck with binding on it, take it to somebody else, because I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole, man. Not doing it. Not doing it. So I got serious there, because I shoved my specs up in my face. I got really serious. But yeah, so that's why I don't bind necks. And well, if you want that as a custom option, go somewhere else, because I'm not doing it for you. I don't trust it. It's not part of my manufacturing process. It's an unreliable thing. It sure does look pretty though. Sure does. Looks pretty. So anyway, that's the end of the piece of camera. Let's get back to work. By the way, you gotta have a lot of this stuff to make a guitar. I recommend buying about 15 reels of this just to make a guitar, because you're gonna need it all the time. Now, what am I doing now? Well, I'm taping off the fretboard now, because I've finished all the dressing, everything else. Everything else can wait until it's finished paint for me to do something else to it. So I'm taping all this off, gotta tape all that off, fretboard, everything, because I'm going to paint it. Paint! I'll tell you what you think about paint. Paint sucks. Lacquer is much better. I'll tell you what though, what happened was I have no supply of lacquer. No, I don't. Yeah. It's called, I think the term is COVID. That really screwed me up. So now I'm doing this. I'm painting. And I hate painting. I did quite a good job on the body, so I'm quite happy with that. I'm used to using lacquer though. Hate paint. I've been watching Brad Angove, Canadian guy. He's very good. Got good techniques off of him. And he's helped me along, I'll tell you. That's the wrong way. So, you know, he's been pretty good. And let's just keep on. Look, I'm really upset, okay? So, bye-bye. Well, what am I doing now? Well, see, in order for wood to take paint, you have to prime it. You know, when you sand something down, the grain gets raised, and you need to flatten it, or, you know, prime it in some fashion so it's going to be flat. This is not the case with certain oils and stuff like that, but with paint's so kind of common that you need to really flatten things out very well, or else the paint will take. So what am I doing? Well, I'm putting sanding sealer on the neck. This is a maple neck, and I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to seal those very tight grains that maple has. Absolutely seal it 100%, so I know I'm going to get a good paint job on it. Paint. Anyway, so as you can probably hear, I hate paint. I don't like paint at all. I'd much rather naturally finish the guitar, but that's where I stand right now. I must sound frustrated to all you guys out there. I'm kind of. It was the mosquito episode I described earlier. Pissed me off. That doesn't happen with lacquer. Mosquitoes do not like lacquer. They do not like tongue oil. They do not like wipe-on poly or water-based poly. They don't like it. So, see, I've just coated the back of the neck here with my crystal lac. Oh, this is in my crystal lac sanding sealer. This is awesome stuff. Water-based as well. So any screw up you make, clean it up with water before you sand. And you can actually touch it. It's not toxic in the slightest. I don't know how they make it though. So how can I trust them? Good question. So I'm just making sure everything's done here. As you can see, I taped the whole neck off here. It's all taped off. Right you go. and once this dries and I sand it, I may put another coat on, and then again I might not. I might just go and paint, just see how it is. That is the price of paint, I'm afraid. Paint takes much more processing in guitar making, much more. So you have to build in those times. Now, I could knock out a bass guitar in 4 weeks, usually. This one's going to take 6 weeks, maybe more. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But you know, I don't want to let my client down. I love him very much. That's Franco I'm talking about. I love this man. He's such a gentleman, and I don't want to let him down. So this is what we are doing. And look at that. Look what's coming now. It's beautiful. Now, here's a little thing. See that little dip in the neck in thickness before it comes up to the heel? That's for hand speed. And it works, because I tried it out. Awesome. Well, what a bummer. I think I've lost all my spray painting footage. Maybe not, but I formatted the card and I don't think I copied, by mistake, and I think I copied, I don't think I copied the footage. Never mind, it was mainly consisted of me wearing, hold on, I'll show you in a minute. It mainly consisted of me wearing this, a hazmat suit, this pair of Joe 90 goggles that fit over my specs. Oh, I looked like a Formula 1 driver there. And of course, the highest rated respirator I could find. You really need to do it for catalyzed clear coat, because it has isocyanates in it, and these act as the catalyst to harden the coat. Now this is 2 hours ago I did this clear coat, and it's already dried to the touch. It's not cured though. It'll be cured in about between 36 and 48 hours. That's how fast catalyzed poly is. For professional use, usually for automotive stuff, but my word does it go on very well. You can see at the start there was a lot of orange peel. Now it's sort of self-leveling and flattening out, and it's just unbelievable. I don't know if you can see it in this light. Oh, there you go. I don't want to move that too much though. It's spectacular stuff. I also did the neck with it, but I put 3 coats on the body, some dust nibs in there that I'll have to flat sand out, and I put 2 coats on the neck because the neck's going to get more of a satin finish for playability, so the neck's playable. You can't put a full thick poly coat on the neck, because if you start to play fast, and if you're playing live and you start to sweat, your hand sticks. Not good for a fast slap style bass player. So the neck, got 2 coats. Here's the neck. Yeah. Again, dry to the touch. Barely. But again, 36 to 48 hours recommended before it gets flat sanded, buffed and polished. This one will be satin and smooth to play. So, a success. Oh, by the way, I sold my Black Limber Scorpion bass, the GazzBass Scorpion. I sold that today to a splendid gentleman from Antwerp in Belgium. Lovely city, by the way. His name is Eddie Wilms, and he and I have become friends on the Facey. So that's awesome. I can't wait to hear him play it. I'll do a full setup for him. I'll record a short video on the full setup, the cleaning and the packaging of the Black Limber GazzBass Scorpion off to Europe on its way to Belgium. Awesome. So that's great news as well. But this Spray Max 2K poly, as long as you protect yourself very well, I'm really impressed with the results. I really am. I mean, it's the best poly I've ever used. I don't use much poly. I'll use a wipe-on water-based poly for, you know, hand finishing and stuff like that. But for a paint job, and paint, I've never been much of a painter, I have to be honest with you. I've done a few paint jobs. I like lacquer. Lacquer is a kind of paint, you know, a regular acrylic paint. For this sort of job, this stuff is just unbelievably good. I'm thinking when I flat sand this, I might need to give it another couple of coats, and that's fine because it's only got a 2-day cure time, and I want the best result possible for Franco, you know. So wow, it's been a very busy but very gratifying day today. So we're gonna have to wait 48 hours, 36 hours at least. So the next time I'll see you will be in a couple of days for me, and a couple of seconds for you. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to splash clear coat over everything, even the fretboard. I'm just joking, just joking. Oh, by the way, this doesn't get shaved until I finish the project. That's my rule. Okay. Cool. Hello everybody. Hello. Just going to show you around this clear coat. This is about 4 hours after spraying. It is absolutely dry to the touch right now, and you can see where the kind of the orange peel is setting in, but it's really unbelievable stuff. This is the Spray Max 2K clear coat. 2K meaning that it has a catalyst in it, so it's like a tin within a tin. You break it open, and it starts drying immediately in the tin, so you got to use it really quickly. But what a finish! When I first sprayed it, it was orange peely as hell. There's still orange peel there. I'm going to have to flat sand it and maybe put another couple of coats on afterwards just to get it really perfect. But wow, yeah, see in the middle there, that's oak. It was meant to be grain filled, but that's okay. When I flat sand that, that'll go away. I won't burn through the coats. I put 3 coats on to start with, so that's 3 coats. A tack coat, a tack coat, and then 2 other coats after that. And look at that. That's just, it's astounding. It really is. I'm really quite impressed with the quality. You can see stuff there as I go to the side, and you see how it orange peels up a bit. Well, that's solved by flat sanding and polishing. That's all part of the process. Unless you're an absolutely fantastic clear coat or oiler or anything, sprayer or, you know, anything like that, then you have to flat sand and polish. You have to do it anyway. Right, so if you're not completely satisfied with the way it is, why am I zoomed all the way in? You can, what you do is you flat sand it, wet or dry. I prefer wet and clog up all the holes where wet can get into. Some people don't want to take that risk and will do a dry sand on it, but then you risk the sandpaper pilling up. Even high quality sandpaper will pill up and you'll create scratches. So it's just a matter of preference. But this is unbelievably good stuff. Spray Max 2K. Unbelievable. Used on cars, of course. Can I get up that high to get a shine on the logo? I guess. There we go. It's just the lights in here are set up really crappily, as you can see. But you see the result. I mean, it's just unbelievably good. Best clear coat I've ever used. For a spray can anyway. I usually hand apply oils, as you know, water-based wipe-on poly, stuff that's non-toxic. This stuff, you breathe it in, when it's wet, it will kill you. You will die because it has a catalyst in it. Breathe any of that in, it will harden on your lungs and you will die. So be very careful, okay? Isn't that beautiful though? Love that logo. Let's see if we can get in a bit more than that. There we go. Why am I getting bolts? Oh, it's so shiny that I can't get in on the... There we go. Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, by the way, I'm buying a camera slider tomorrow, so I'll be able to do nice slow passes of the body. Getting more professional here at Gary Denyer Custom Guitars. Hope you appreciate that stuff. You appreciate what I'm doing here. And yeah, on to the next, right? Cheers, guys. Cheers. This clear coat is amazing. It went on so well, and I didn't think it would. Actually, I really didn't think it would. It went on so well that I'm able to start off flat sanding here with 1500 grit. I just flat sanded this. There's some high spots there still. Tiny high spots, but that's fine. I will get rid of them. And we'll sand the whole lot in 1500 and see what it looks like. If there are any imperfections, I will scuff it back down to 800 and we'll put more clear coat on it, but I might get away with this just 1500 here, which will save me a whole 3 days if I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead. I am wet sanding. I'm being very careful not to get water into the pockets and stuff like that. And there's still some little bits of clear coat that need to be scalpelled off here. This needs to be scalpelled off as well. But I'm very, very happy with this, with the Spray Max 2K. It's worked really well. So looking very glossy, and once I've got it flat sanded, I'll do a little pass here with a little piece of equipment I got. A camera slider for doing that those artsy-fartsy shots, you know, with camera sweeping over the surface there. Cool. Another bit of creative freedom afforded me, and then we'll go from there. We'll decide whether to put another clear coat on or just go ahead and start polishing, or go to finer grits, I should say. My plan is to go 1500, 2000, actually 1500, 3000, then 5000. I might skip the 2000. I don't want to do too much sanding because I don't want to burn through the coat. You definitely would need another clear coat session. Okay, so awesome. Okay, here's, I don't know if you can see this really, but that's the bottom here is sanded to 1500 grit flat. Okay, it's really kind of dull looking. The centre part still needs to be done, as you can see with the low spots. So it looks really kind of flat, still a bit shiny in places. The top here has been done to 3000, and look at that. You see the light bulb there? Hardly any low spots at all now. And even though this is sanded, you're starting to see a semi-gloss. I plan to go all the way up to 5,000 grit before starting the polishing process. And flat sanding takes between 4 and 6 hours really of just constant sanding. You have to be very patient. But looking good so far. Well, the centrepiece looks crap still, of course, but it will begin to all blend in. Okay, cool. Okie dokie, after about 5 hours of sanding, excuse me, the clear coat is now down to 5,000 grit, and it's taken on a semi-gloss appearance now. I don't know if you can see it. Try and get it under the lights. There you go. That was the light that passed there along the way. But you can see it's extremely high polish. So I'll get better light once I've polished it. But for now, that's it down to 5,000 grit, ready to be cleaned. And then we'll begin polishing. Awesome. You don't need too much of the polishing compound. It does make a mess, you have to clean it up, but it really gets it to a very high gloss. You only need a little pressure. First you put some polishing compound on the pad, the sponge pad. This is the orange one, which is the hardest pad I have. And you put some on the body and have at it. Clean it off with a rag. The Norton's liquid ice system has its own cleaner, so I'm going to put some of that stuff on too. Now, just wipe off the excess with a piece of paper towel, and then you go in with the spray and wipe the rest off. Some polishing compound in the logo, but that's fine. Just clean that out with a Q-tip. Fine mist on the body, paper towel, and very gently just go over it. You'll see that come up really, really shiny. Keep using new paper towels, don't skimp on the paper towels. We'll clean out the cavity in a minute as well. And look at that. It's really, really shiny. I don't know if you can see in that light that I've got there, but it's extremely shiny. Mirror finish right now, but it's going to go higher than that. Stick this pad to the wash in a little while. Compound hardening on me. Okay. Leave that off, that's good. There you go. So I will continue with this system, going up and polishing pads, and then we'll finish with the 3M Perfect It polish, which will take it to the next level. Crap out of there, and we'll be done. So let's do the back. Okay, we're now on to the finest polish that I have. Is the 3M Perfect It 39062 compound. I thoroughly wetted my buffing sponge, and the surface has got lots of polishing compound on it. I don't really need that much, but let's go ahead. That should do it. Right, I'll go and clean this up and see what happened. Okay. Well, the 3M Perfected 39062. It's the best polishing compound I've ever used, finishing compound I've ever used. I'll show you the base in a little while, okay? Yeah, sorry about this. I'm not going to shave until this project's done, so I'm going to look like Santa Claus, and it'll probably be Christmas by the time it's done. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Ooh, dark shadows. And yeah, stay tuned for part 8, which will be coming up presently. I might do a double header this weekend. But until the next time, stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you later. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.